Okay, so I've done this video 3 times so far. First time, no audio. Second time, the video crashed. Third time, my wife started yelling at someone downstairs. So we're just going right into the video today. All right. One of the things that I think about when I think of Lund Loop subscribers is how do you approach the market? And I think most people are retail traders in the Lund Loop. I don't think there's a lot of institutional traders where you have to be trading. I don't think there's a lot of people where trading is their only source of income. I mean, I know people trade for a living in the Lund Loop community, but they have resources and lots of other ways to make money too. So one of the things I think about retail traders in that position is you've got a great advantage, and that advantage is that you don't have to trade. You really don't have to trade. A lot of people in the retail world have been buying every dip during this process here. And buying every dip works every time until it doesn't, till the last time. The problem is retail traders have a hard time, pros too, of understanding when the market's in a transition period. And that's what the market's in right now, basically starting with that day on the 10th. What's the transition going to look like? Are we going to put a top in and go lower and start trending lower? Will that be the transition? Will we just be going choppy, chop, chop till we go up here? Will that be the transition? We don't know. But we're in a tougher market environment here than we were here, where buying the dip doesn't necessarily work every time. If it does work, you got to be in sync. And I've talked about how there were people buying here that freaked out here, that got stopped out here, that didn't rebuy here, that bought here when they should have been selling, that freaked out here, got stopped out here, didn't buy again. And when we got this reversal on Friday, I said, it's not as strong as the one we had the previous Friday. Why am I looking over here? Because it didn't close at the highs of the day. It had this wick. It's below resistance level. Just didn't feel as good about it. However, if you got in some names down here, you had a chance to get out this morning before the market sold off. And it did sell off pretty hard in some situations. I mean, look at Tesla. Tesla, which looked great midway through the day, started at basically 399, got as high as 423 and gave almost all of it back. A lot of names did that. Tesla was able to stay red, but a lot of names weren't. So the point I'm trying to make is if you're a retail trader, the advantage you have is you don't have to trade. And I've been saying this is probably the move. Don't trade. But if you're pushing it, you got to make sure you are in sync. You have to make sure you're in sync. And today, I think, was a day to sell, to take some profits. Tomorrow, we could gap up 100. We could gap down 100. Look, we're below the 50 here, which is no big deal for one day if we can get back above it. But there's no advantage here. We've got NVIDIA on Wednesday. We've got the Fed on Wednesday. There's no edge. So this would be a market I would not be pushing it in. But if you're going to, you got to be in sync. So if we go to the Qs, same scenario. Just below the 50. We need to get back above there really quick, but no advantage. No edge, no advantage. And we've seen over the last couple weeks, IWM weakened. It lost the 50 last week. It lost support today. It closed near the lows of the day, so that's not good. And then the Dow gave back so much of this run so fast, and it's right back on the 50 below support, still off of that big down day on the 10th. So not looking really great there. And I think this day is super key. People have been talking about this as an orderly pullback, and I agree. But it's going to get a lot less orderly if we break this low, because that was a day when I think a lot of people were on the precipice of a margin call, and because we gapped up Monday, they were spared that. But I think if we get below there, things could get really ugly fast. And I'm not saying we're going to, but we just, it's orderly until it's not orderly. All right, let's jump through these. Let's see. VIX. Okay, VIX came in a little bit at the end of the day, which corresponded with that little pop off of the lows. Can it continue down tomorrow? That would be great. It's at an area where it's been pushed back before, but it hasn't closed this high. This is the highest it's closed in that range, so that's not good. TLT looks like it's about ready to roll over and break that 200 definitively. Dixie, all right, got a little pressure off Dixie, an orderly pullback, and now we've got a pop right off of the 21. So that's starting to tell us that maybe this pullback's over. If we lose this area here, then obviously that pullback's going to continue, but it looks like This may be the end of the pullback. Bitcoin, continued weakness. We've just seen it stair step, waterfall down. We've been on this for a while. It's the canary in the coal mine. Same thing here with Ethereum, stair stepping down, very orderly. Solana, weak. All the crypto names are weak. XHB, we watched this in real time, right? Bounced off support. This weak bounce here, rejected right at the 200 and this downtrend on the precipice Friday, and then boom, closing at the lows today. That's not good. SMH is just waiting for NVIDIA. That's all it's doing. XBI, still strong, surprisingly strong. This is not good. 3 days, we gave back all of this on XLF, and we're right at the 200. Do not like that at all. And of course, KRE doing the same thing. Do not like that. Oil, just trying to figure out where it's going. Getting no clues from OIH or XLE. Gold, continuing down from that gap last week. Gold miners holding a little bit better, but silver doing the same as gold. And pot doesn't exist. As you can guess, nothing's coming over. If we look at today's list, applied materials still looks pretty good. I mean, it kind of went a little bit today, but I think it can really clear this area. This is a really strong, good relative strength. Tesla, I can't keep it on here. I really can't. We could just go. I mean, it was really strong today, but where did it get rejected? Right at the 50, right at the high of this, the bottom of this gap, and right at a downtrend. So a lot of overhead resistance there. That has to go away. Microsoft, I almost want to keep it on here, but below the 50, it's got to set up better than this. So this goes away. Las Vegas Sands still looks great. Still think it can go again. So we're going to keep it here. Roblox goes away. Palantir, could bounce, but I don't know. The way the market's setting up right now, I'm just not real confident in any of these. Snow, nope, that goes away. Apple definitely goes away. NVIDIA. Okay, so this is interesting about NVIDIA. NVIDIA is not priced for perfection here going into earnings. So it's different than like Palantir. Palantir was priced for perfection, and almost anything that would have happened, you think would have knocked it down. So it's possible that once we get through earnings, if they're decent, that we could get a move up in NVIDIA because it's not priced for perfection. But I think I have to take it off the list for now. And Jicama, in this market environment, I need a green bar here to keep it on the list. So it goes away. The only thing that's on the list is Valero, and it stays. And that's it. So anyway, if you're not in the Discord, get in there. And if you get in there, I'll see you there.